I think what was it like? It was the Tony Hawk and Nicol Brolos were like the last ones that we made. Then you wanted Dirty Rocks, and then Dr. Acula was a request, and the Cheap Grave was mine.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the one I want to build.
Oh, you want me? Okay, okay. We're making this one already.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have some fucking shenanigans. Like it just reminds me of Braids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or just like any of the I play the big dumb idiot as early as possible. So, yeah.
Wait, where is he? Really just saw him. Where the hell did he go?
This card is just so good. Like, not only does it give you value for like ninja abilities, but it's also like Ulamog on turn 4.
Oh, so remember that the dude?
Ooh.
So Toshiro Umezawa, which I'm guessing is a related to him, is the same last name. He's the dude with Bushido that gives whenever
They're probably in the
opponent
same
dies.
clan.
Well, I think it's a timeline is like really far away. Is that's the thing? So it's probably just his relative. Because remember, like the old like it was back in the Kami War, and they didn't have like future tech whatnot.
No.
But so we're gonna try building him, and so I'm guessing we're going to be doing like a just cheat stuff in type of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we got to play like low unblockable idiots or like just good flyers or like, you know.
Yeah, so that's what I think we should do. It. Maybe we should do a mixture. So our deck runs like maybe two things. It's like things that can't be blocked. Like I think we want things that definitely can't be blocked, not like stuff with just generic evasion.
Yeah, no,
That's really
like the
cheap.
one drops. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like we'll play the one drops, and then everything else is just big gas.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we hit any one drop that gets a swing in, it just goes straight poopy stinky.
Mm-hmm.
Now the question is, how poopy stinky are we going with this?
Yeah. Oh, we can Blight Steel. I'm down.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Blade Steel. This also would be kind of a cool Lord of the Void deck too, because Lord of the Void gets the hit and you get to rip something.
Yeah, no, dude. That sounds nasty to me.
Also, sounds really gross slamming in a Razaketh and
Also,
then sacking
and
the
everything
1/1.
and everything is uncounterable. That's the
Mm-hmm.
word. Oh no. No, ninjutsu is casting, right? Or is it an activated ability?
No, ninjutsu is return an unblocked creature you control, put this card into the battlefield from your hand.
Ah! That's
it's not
cheese.
It is an activated ability, so
Oh,
that could be countered.
Bad.
But that's about it.
That's really bad.
I mean, Archon seems kind of cool. Cheating in Archon also seems kind of cool in this deck.
What are we naming it before we start I already have a bunch of ideas, like Hull Breacher Horror, but what are we naming it first? Also, this is definitely a Maskwood Nexus deck.
You know what? Because the other artwork of that, we're gonna call it Genji.
Wait a minute. So even if they're not ninjas, because this gives things ninjutsu,
yeah,
you don't even need to play ninjas.
No, this is not a ninja deck at all. This is just.
We could play some of the fun ones. Cause like
maybe
the one that like makes copies of itself. There's some good ones. Like it isn't like Oni. Like this one's good, right? Is this the? I thought there's one that like you can reanimate something. We'll look at them. I know that there's like okay ones. But
God, I'm just imagining like you like
Genji?
flashing. Yeah, why not? Because it's like a very Genji. He looks like Genji.
I'm gonna name it Commander Genji. Not Genki. Okay, no, not Genki.
Commander Genji.
Okay, so I did check before the stream to make sure that he's on here. Oh, look, it's still.
Nice. It's just from where you left off.
Yeah. I just checked to make sure that. Okay. Okay, so yeah, because it hasn't been printed yet, so that's why it's red. But okay, so we said Blight Steel Colossus. Should we get through the unblockable shit before? I mean, we could do either one. I mean, you know, I'm cool.
Yeah.
We said I like Arcana Cruelty.
Actually, no, I think Cold Breacher would be kind of cool. I don't know, because I don't know how much. I guess we still would run some interaction.
I mean, if we're gonna be mean, I mean, there's
But I think
Jin-Gitaxias.
Toxtrol is probably worse.
I think Jin-Gitaxias is really bad.
Yeah. What also really bad is
You said the slug, but doesn't that kill our stuff too?
No, it's only opponent's creatures.
This is
each creature you don't control, because you know what
Hullbreaker horror.
Hullbreaker, I guess, be kind of cool. I like Lord of the Void too.
Yeah, because we're just gonna cast counterspells, Derek. We're gonna play this for free and play all counterspells. So I like Lord of the Void.
Because that also rips a creature. Check this out, Mind Leech Mass. I'm looking at like random things with really good attack triggers.
Yeah, but it misses those.
No, because it says when it deals combat damage, not when it attacks.
Oh yeah, well that's different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's look up Mind Leech Mass. And remember, these are all guaranteed hits. Mind Leech, there he is. Read that, some bitch.
Holy shit! Like that one? That's stupid.
What about Void Widower?
Steals a card from them? Sure, why not? More cancer.
It also means that there's potential more reasons for them to not to black.
Yeah, Void Widower is good. I mean, we could play some.
Oh wait, Silent Blade Oni is basically another version of the Leech Mass. That one has generic ninjutsu.
Yeah, this is some of the ones. Some of these are good, and it discounts it, right? Because he's more. Yeah, it discounts it by 2.
Yeah,
which is nice.
Because there's we said
should what? Keep going. Go ahead.
Oh, so if we're going crazy on this about Consecrated Sphinx, I think putting that in seems really cool.
Yes. No fucks.
It that betrays Agent of Treachery. I love it.
Yeah, even though it doesn't get the trigger the first time, it's still a crazy card. Oh yeah, Agent of Treachery. Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I mean, we even play something I'm just thinking what's our favorite blue-black a cheating in a Runescar Demon seems cool.
Noxious Gearhulk? Yeah, I like Runescar Demon.
Maybe we should play Dolphy Voidwalker in this because he's also technically unblockable.
Oh, because he has Shadow? That's a funny... Yeah, I like that.
And the thing is, we can still get the value off of him and with the Void counter.
Yeah, and then we could play, we're going to play probably some Recursion. A Phyrexian Reclamation to start. But, we'll get to that. It's just, I'm throwing it out there so I don't forget.
Tom, we have to play my favorite unblockable creature, though.
Blighted Agent?
The Tormented Soul. No, Tormented Soul. That was one of my very first... I tried to build my very first deck because I opened up some I forgot what it was, but he was in there, and I ran the mono. Remember the big black deck I first built? Mm-hmm. It ran Tormenting Soul, so I'd attack every turn unblockable.
Changeling Outcast. And then what's the 2 ones that Infect used to play?
Mistcloak Herald and Slitherblade.
Blighted Agent, right?
No.
Why not? Unblockable.
He's 2 mana. We have 1 mana ones.
Yeah, but we can play 2 mana ones, especially the one that has hexproof. What's the hexproof one that doesn't have impact?
Invisible Stalker.
It's okay to play some 2 mana ones if they're better. And then what are the ones you said?
So we have Mistcloaked Herald. This reminds me of another deck list I actually did want to make that was a Sultai deck. It's the partner with the dog that creature. Slitherblade. Just a rogue.
Say it again? Slitherblade?
Yeah, it's a Naga rogue.
Yeah, there.
And Triton Shorestalker. And then Gadulu Lurker. It's Gudul.
Mm-hmm. Also, obviously, Archmage. Archon. What is the can't
Oh,
be can't have flying?
archetype of endurance. Endurance. Demir Infiltrator
No,
is kind of a cool
not endurance. It's imagination.
imagination. That's what I meant.
Imagination. Say that again. What'd you say?
Demir Infiltrator. It's a 1/3 that can't be blocked and it has transmute. So maybe like some random thing. Yeah, Razaketh. Yo, I'm tempted to get the demonic combo up for all the demons for the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that demon deck, by the way.
Oh yeah. No, it looks sweet. I mean, we could put that archfiend that doubles the damage.
You know, it's not terrible because like they're probably gonna get hit for a bunch. I still also like running a Rune Scarred in this.
I put it in already.
You want to try It That Betrays? Oh, you got that in there?
Yeah, if that betrays, yes.
Rexiel the Risen Deep is the Island Walk Swamp Walk Kraken. That's whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may cast a target instant or sorcery from a player's graveyard without paying its mana cost.
You're gonna have to say that again. You're gonna have to say that again.
Sorry, Rexiel. It's WREX.
Yeah, I was in WREX.
He's the ideal damage, and I get a spell from your instant or sorcery from your graveyard. For
what about
free.
like Gyruda? What does that do again?
Oh, just to like potentially reanimate something.
I guess that's not amazing. The Primordials though, right?
Yeah.
It's Splutrol and then the Diluvian.
Mm-hmm.
Those are both good. I'm trying to think of other big dumb idiots I play.
I think also we should run the reconnaissance mission by Nefasa.
Yes.
And whatever the other one is.
I've been noticing just how crazy those can go off.
Yep, if you get those to go off, they do stuff.
Also, we should play that 4-mana artifact that just puts a creature into play because we have such big dumb idiots that any discount is worth it.
The Quicksilver Amulet?
Yes. Yes, definitely. Because I think that's going to be really good. That lets us play an extra idiot a turn. And sometimes even, get the attack trigger.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, because a lot of our creatures aren't legendary, so maybe the other one isn't as good.
Oh, yeah, the put historic in. Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to be as good. Biden's cool, too. I'm trying to think of what I play in.
That's kind of cool. What if we ran Rogue's Class?
Oh, Rogue's Class? Is that when they deal damage, you exile the top of their library?
Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, exile top of their library face down. Then it's level. It's next level 2 is creatures you control have menace. Our creatures are big, and giving them menace could actually make them even harder to block. So we can even.
I guess that's caring afterward because most of them are unblockable in the beginning.
Well, yeah, the ones are unblockable, but the big things after they've hit are not.
I still say we play Blighted Agent, by the way. Also, I think this is an Ink Moth Nexus deck and Blink Moth Nexus.
Oh, just the land attacks?
Yeah, the flyers. Isn't there another one like Fairy Conclave? Isn't that like a? That's a land, right?
Yeah, it's Fairy Conclave. Yeah, it's the land that becomes a 2/1.
Yeah.
We could also just run Bitter Blossom.
Yeah, I put Bitter Blossom. Oh, with the one. That's a good idea. I like that.
We could constantly have a free supply of 1/1, so we don't have to worry about keep casting creatures.
Good. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Should we play the other one, the Dreadhorde Invasion?
It doesn't have flying though. They don't.
You're right. Yeah,
At least they have
flying.
You're right.
Yeah, we're gonna be able to hit people. I put the Archetype right. Yeah, he's there. We could play the Death Touch one. How much mana is he?
It's the
Finality.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yes or no?
6 mana. Creatures you control have Death Touch. It makes blocking so not good. And the thing is, this is an attack-based strategy, so
do we still want to? Go ahead. Yeah.
I think just having the redundancy of making it harder and harder to attack is still maybe just
Is
good.
there anything good that makes other flyers like that I'm not thinking of right now? Because I put in Grave Titan, which is nice.
Um, there is just like
I'm trying to think of
flying
I'm
things.
trying to think of what I play in Violet and Rubina, if I'm missing anything good. Uh, or like a Modi, I guess.
Oh, we also have Nether Trader's kind of cool because it has haste.
Doesn't that have Shadow, right?
Yeah, it has shadow and
Yes, I
haste.
like that. Yes, and it can return itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like that. I put Blighted Agent in, by the way, because I just want all. We just need a decent amount of unblockable creatures. Uh, I mean, we could try like Wonder and Filth, but I feel like those
Oh,
are really hard to pull off sometimes.
Graxolith, the Ithilid Scholar. That's the other draw cards, dude. You know your dude.
How do you spell it again?
It's Graz. So AZI.
Oh, this
Yeah,
guy. That when something gets
yeah.
blocked. Yeah, I like that.
Ginger Brew also has haste.
Yeah,
And
but
it can't be blocked except by creatures with haste, which is interesting.
that doesn't sound terrible.
Because I kind of like the haste side of it.
Yeah. Also, I want to play like Phyrexian Arena. Well, you're still thinking of creatures, Phyrexian Arena.
Yo, and I know you mentioned it, like Phyrexian. I mean the Vastwood Nexus or Maskwood Nexus, because like they all attack. You get treasures. You could sack the treasures, and look at our bombs in this deck. Because it's not just like a deck that we're. It's just like, okay, here's some good utility creatures. They're just bomb creatures.
Wait, say that again. What? What
So
card?
like, you know, with Maskwood Nexus, where they're all creature types, and you get sack treasures to grab any dragon, because they're all technically dragons in the deck now.
No, you're
Like we
No,
get.
you're mixing the cards up. You're mixing Magda and Masswood Nexus up.
Oh right, that's right. You know
Masswood
Magda.
Nexus just makes a 2/2. You're thinking of
Right.
Magda.
Never mind.
Yeah, no.
Magda is the yes, right. Sorry, I'm always so used to those pairs together.
hmm
Forgot they're separate. Are they?
I don't know. Uh, this looks awesome.
We're probably going to trim down some of maybe some of the bigger stuff.
Yeah,
Give work.
obviously. Yeah, we'll go through it again. But we should just probably play some removal like Ravenous, Chupacabra.
Do we need removal with these creatures?
Yes, we still need to care a tiny bit about removal, and we're gonna play counterspells. For sure. Arcane Denial. Let's get these out of the way. Hagar Mauling. Seagate Restoration. Agadeem's Awakening. And Malakir. Rebirth. Okay, those are the good ones. So Arcane Denial, Counterspell. Disallow. Definitely Sublime Epiphany. We got some big idiots to copy. Sublime Epiphany.
Now, I don't mean to be that guy, but so I think the one thing. Hold on, let's see 1 second. I'm gonna sneeze.
Bless you.
So, my one thing about when I built rogues, one thing I realized that it really needed, and anytime I drew it, it kind of won me the game if I ever hit it.
Notion
Was
Thief?
an extra the extra turn card that you'd get a rogue for all your damage, and then you draw and you take an extra turn. But just generically having extra turns on attack-based strategies with all the draw stuff.
Alrund's Epiphany.
So like stuff like Alrund's Epiphany. I do like Karn's Temporal Sundering too, because it could bounce something.
Right, but what's the fairy? How's the fairy one worded? It's
Noxious Throng, I think it's called.
Noxious.
I think, or something.
Noxious.
Or no, Notorious Throng. That's what it is. So it's create X 1/1 black fairy rogue creature tokens with flying, where X is damage dealt to your opponents this turn. if its prowl cost is paid, take an extra turn after this, and prowl is if you deal damage by a rogue. So it's either so you take an extra turn if you cast its prowl cost. Its prowl cost is 6, and it has to be they have to be dealt damage by a rogue. But I think all of our 1/1s unblockable except for the spirit is technically a rogue. But the thing is, we're usually swapping them out for something else, and then it's not a rogue.
Yeah, that one's kind of hard.
Yeah, but I think just running maybe just like
Nexus of Fate.
I was gonna say, yeah. Well, I guess yeah. We're making this like the mean list. That like I would also probably just run like a straight time warp, like 5-mana one, or the temporal mastery or whatever it is, or
the manipulation.
Manipulation. Yeah,
the one that doesn't target.
So you can't swerve it. You probably don't need maybe too many of them, but like I think having
I like Alvarez.
Yeah.
Because it makes the flyers.
It makes flyers potentially unblockable. So just getting a hit in there with the flyers, like, and then like imagine a dream turn where you're like, okay,
Derek,
I could activate it like 2 or 3 of them. Creeping Tar Pit.
Unblockable. It's unblockable.
Yeah, right.
It's finally here. It could be in a deck.
Creeping Carpet.
It's $6 expedition.
Yeah, true. No one plays it anymore. It's just so bad.
Nobody plays them. It is pretty bad. Okay, so maybe like a kill spell. I'd probably say like, I mean, if we're being those guys. And then maybe just like one actual kill spell, like either Infernal Grasp or like a Hero's Downfall or like a Feed the Swarm.
Feed the Swarm. Just that little extra reach, you know. That's why it's so good.
And then I also like Hero's Downfall. I've always been a Hero's Downfall fan.
Yeah, I just like getting that little extra reach.
Yeah. And then I want to play some. So we got Phyrexian Arena. I mean, we can play Necropotence. I mean, just to make it as good as possible. And Rhystic Study. Rogue's Passage for sure. In some universe, we pay for some creature to be unblockable. Whisper Silk Cloak? Put it on our commander. Can't be targeted. He's also unblockable.
True. Yeah. I guess the things we just don't want him to ever get not. We don't really want to bounce him because once he's not in play, we don't have ninjutsu anymore.
Right. Should we play Palace Siege?
Yeah. I still kind of wait. Oh, never mind. I was thinking a different one. That's the red one that steals damage when they leave.
We should maybe play a little bit of Reanimation.
Yeah. Because I think our creatures do matter.
Maybe just like. Also, do we play Gary? Got a lot of black. As like another way to win. I mean, not that this isn't like the best way to win. And I mean, if we're going all in, we're playing Demonic Tutor. And instead of playing Vamp Tutor, we're playing Grim Tutor. Okay, so. Okay. Do we want to play like Animate Dead or like Dance of the Dead?
Yeah, I like those ones. I do like those ones. I also think that I'm always a big fan of Dread Return when you have a lot of creatures.
Well, so my thing about Dread Return is like, I like that in a deck where like you're either making tokens or like playing out of your graveyard a lot, where like or milling it. Like my thing with Dread Return is like paying 4 mana to reanimate one thing and then having to sack 3 things to play it again is not like the best in the universe.
I know it's not like the best, but I don't know. I just like it's the potential for like just the free cast.
No, dude, I totally get you. It's why I love Burial Rites, but that works way differently, and you know it's better. But yeah. How much mana is that guy that like exiles creatures and makes 4/3s?
Oh, the 5-drop the scorpion god, whatever.
No. Uh no, I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of the new guy that has Encore and gives them like 4/3 salamanders.
Oh, he's ETB exiles the Solomon makes exiles something and makes it a wow. What's his name? I had to look it up. I don't remember. He was in my rogue deck, I think. No, he was in the ETB deck. Yo, can we get more salamanders, please?
Yeah, right.
Amphib Mutineer.
I've been liking him a lot. Oh, he's 4 mana. And then he's 6 to Encore. I've been liking him a lot. I like the exile. Okay, so let's get on the lands, because I think we're good on everything else. Oh no, we didn't even put any ramp. What the hell's wrong with us? Okay, so Dimir Signet. Thought Vessel.
We have the talisman in this color of dominance.
Yes. I mean, we have it in every color.
Yeah.
Arcane Signet. Reliquary
Dimir Signet.
I got Dimir Signet.
Oh, okay.
The talisman. It's
Ooh.
Which one is it?
By the way. Oh, which one?
Is it Dominance?
Of Dominance, yeah.
And then what else? We should play probably like Gilded Lotus because I mean we want to be able to cast things if worse comes to worse. What about Nyx Lotus? Because we do have a lot of devotion as it stands right now.
We could, yeah.
I mean, we could try to pull it off with a 2-color deck. I mean, it looks like we have a lot of black. But I mean, that might change after we start making cuts. Because we're probably going to have a lot of cuts.
Like Sky Diamond, Charcoal Diamond.
Yeah, Sky Diamond. Okay. Solemn. And then Wayfarers. With Academy Runes.
Yo, Tom. What about that? What about the land Shizo Death Storehouse?
Oh yeah, I like that. It only targets a legendary, but
yeah, but to be fair, some of like our big creatures can be legendary, or like are legendary, or just like guarantees our commander gets to go through if like we really need to hit it. It's just a utility. It ends up taking a spot of a swamp.
Yes.
And did you know there's a cheaper Rogue's Passage? But it only works for creatures with power 3 or less. It's Access Tunnel. It was from Strixhaven.
I don't know about that. Because I feel like we don't want to be bouncing our commander as much as possible, but...
No, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the thing is, all of our low-cost creatures are already unblockable as is, so...
Yeah.
So we have Mind Stone in there.
Watery... And then Watery Grave...
The Dimir Keyrune becomes a 2/2 horror that is unblockable. Funny.
We could do that.
It also is just a 3-mana mana rock for 1 color.
Okay. So Watery Grave.
We got Command Tower.
Command Tower. Underground River. Sunken Ruins. What else? Urborg.
Yo, let's get a like an Urborg effect for every color land.
You can
Let's
die.
do it.
You could die now.
How come they get them?
You could die now.
Just imagine the color fixing that would help for like decks.
Mm-hmm.
I also just feel like isn't that broken to really give like, okay, everything's a mountain, everything's plains,
I feel
everything's
like
an island.
glass pull mimic's good because we don't have a lot of legendaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek, you don't. Everything's a mountain.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I want to ban this guy. How do I? Okay, I'll check that later.
Wait, what happened?
There's just spam dude on the thing.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So what other lands?
So we got the Morphic pool.
Morphic pool. I got the filter land.
The clear water pathway.
Underground. Or yeah, clear water pathway. And then what's the buddy called?
Oh, Drowned Catacomb. Oh, what was it called? Shipwreck Marsh. That's the new one, the slow land.
Ship. Okay.
Hey Tom, you know how bad we are? There's no soul ring.
Oh my god.
How did we mess that one up?
Because the card's bad?
Yeah, it's actually trash. Thank you.
No way. Okay, we didn't put the basic lands in yet, but I think we're almost at the count because
What?
we have 5 MDFCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, that's
5.
24 lands. So
Field of the Dead.
we're not playing Field of the Dead.
Why not? Look at our lands. You just named 28 out of like 30 lands that hits it.
Okay, guess we're playing snow covereds.
And Fetid Pool is also the bicycle land. No, that's just the bicycle land. Don't like Choked Estuary. I don't know if we want to run Temple of Deceit.
We can run Temple. I like Temple.
Okay.
This does look at the top cards, right? When it... Oh, not... Deceit. The complete opposite. Okay. So we're at 104. So we're at 23 plus 5, so that's 28. So 6 more. So we do 2. So hold on. We put that up.
Because what we have Wayfarer's Bauble is the one thing that grabs basics.
We put this... Swamp. And Solemn. Where's this? Where'd I put the...
Yo, Tom, that's a funny line of play. Attack with Solemn, trying to get them to block it to kill it to draw a card. If they refuse, ninjutsu it, put something big in, replace Solemn, get another land.
Yes, 1. Okay, that's 36.
Perfect.
Right, because 31 plus 5 MDFCs.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can maybe the Mind Stone, because I think we have too much ramp now. Yeah, probably a little bit too much. Okay, so we have 39 creatures, so we can cut down on this.
All right,
This
how many
dude,
cuts do we need?
11. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yo, I really like
this,
the artwork for Rexio. I didn't know they had a different artwork for him.
yeah. So this is the one that deals combat damage. No, I like that. I like this. We need that. I think this is pretty gross. Just being able to kill shit. That's good. That's good. That's good. This is disgusting.
Oh, it was that Rexiel's from a secret lair. That's what it was.
I think Razakat's gonna be good. Chupacabra's good. Unblockable. That plays something. That plays something that's annoying. Unblockable. Really broken. Unblockable.
Maybe I don't care about Grave Titan in this list. He seems like the worst out of the creatures so far.
I mean, just making blockers or unblockable, unblockable, playing things unblockable, unblockable, blighted, Archon, Archene, the Death Touch maybe.
Sweet, went through all of them, and I don't want to get rid of any of them.
Yeah. See, the funny thing about these is like, if we can get in an attack with Chupacabra and it's not blocked,
Yeah.
that's a funny world.
But with also the potential of reanimating it, letting it die.
These are all too good. I don't want to cut any of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 sources of ramp. 35 lands. Okay, so let's run it at 110.
Sounds good to me.
Oh my god. Okay, so casting something from the graveyard. Still just seems good to me.
Okay, say our deck's playing a... Okay, so maybe for him, it's only as good as the spells that they play.
Mm-hmm.
If not, he's just a 5/8.
With
So
Island Walk, Swamp Walk.
Yeah, so say we swing in, right, with him. I guess no, but then he's like Island Walk, Swamp Walk, so he'd still just like get through.
How many? Okay, let's look at how many unblockable things we're playing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I maybe we can cut down on one of them. Which one is the worst out of them?
I think Ginger Brood is the worst, or one of the worst
yeah,
ones, because you have to pay mana to make them unblockable.
Yeah, I agree. And
maybe I'm not so worried. Yeah, the Death Touch one.
Yeah, I like the removal though. Huh? Okay. We should cut this. It's garbage.
Yeah, totally.
I love this card, even though it doesn't. Oh no, it does happen when it first comes out because it's also ETB. What a stupid card.
Yep, that's why I was like, yeah, definitely that one because of ETBs too.
I kind of like this also. They can't gain life.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like this is a decent Whip of Erebos deck, but I feel like we'll make it work. I also didn't put... Should we play Grey Merchant? I don't think I put it in.
Nah.
No? You think no?
I think it's better just like our... So our bombs are kind of cool. It's going to be kind of a bit slower. Like, we're not dumping, like, our whole hand in, like, repeatedly, like, really quickly. It's going to be like we're swinging with, like, 1 to 2 creatures. We're going to bounce one of them to put it back into our hand and then hit them for a bunch.
like this a lot.
Yeah, getting Hull Breacher out is pretty good. Just being able to be
You
like,
mean
okay, now I play one
Hullbreaker her?
creature a turn.
Yeah, because now every time we play our one drop, it's either popping things or like this seems good. Dude. This is rough. Everything's so good.
It just comes. I guess maybe it just comes down to like which do we care less about. Maybe sometimes Primordial isn't as great because I think we put stuff in pretty early, and maybe by the time like he's relevant, it's kind of not good anymore. Because if we're like, oh, turn 1 unblockable, turn 2 mana ramp, or turn 1 mana ramp, I think we definitely want to get an unblockable down first, play our commander. So we're basically turn 4 something in the play that's redonkulous.
But it
And
can't
if
be
it's
blocked except by artifact creatures or creatures that share a color with it.
actually that's right, I forgot, because then you can put it back into your hand. Nope, we keep it. Damn it. Um,
But I mean, it's just that its effect is like I guess not the best in the world.
I mean, because also a lot
Then
of our other
do we care less about this or do
well,
we?
because those target our stuff. See, Primordial doesn't hit our own things, and I think we kind of care about our creatures. Because here's the thing: our creatures are bombs. People are going to start focusing them down. Any chance they get a chance, they're going to try and get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then, do you want to cut this?
Yeah. His effect's real good though, but maybe it's not as relevant. Like we don't have a huge kill package, and like we're mostly the control.
Are we gonna? I don't even think we're gonna be able to sack things well with this. I mean, but he is a huge boy. But like,
True.
do we have things other than Bitter Blossom to really like offer to him?
I guess if we tutor Phyrexian Reclamation or like the hmm. Also, maybe there wants to be a Swiftfoot Boots deck, because maybe when we want to put an unblockable creature in and then swing with it immediately, like the same turn it comes in. I know some of them do have haste. I know we're like already kind of like, because every time we bounce a creature back to our hand to ninjutsu, putting it back, it has to put it back into play, and then we have to wait another turn for it to be able to attack. Maybe I guess if we get to turn 5 though, we put it to our hand, we have mana open to replay it. So maybe it's not that big of a deal.
No,
Never
yeah,
mind.
I don't think it's that big. Yeah. Uh. Hold on, let me. I feel like this card's kind of cracked.
That's not something that's pretty good to put in too.
I feel like that might be better than something in there, just because like getting in a like an untap and then like Okay, so maybe.
Or is the extra turns just too cute?
Do you want to cut this one?
Yeah, I mean, I like Nexus and Hour ones. Maybe we just don't need that many. Maybe it's like that one off. Our creatures are so big, like we only need 1 or 2 turns with them.
Mm-hmm. Still need 7 cuts.
Okay. Okay. So
Oh.
Quicksilver Amulet. I know we always talk about it, and we always end up kind of cutting it. The same mana that to activate it, we could also just activate our commander. So I think I only see us using Quicksilver Amulet is like when we have our commander and this in play, and we have eight mana to spend a turn.
Yeah, but remember, we need unblockable things for our commander to be relevant, as this is just dumping things in.
Yeah, true. I guess. So I guess if we run out of one drop, if we don't draw one drop,
Yeah, considering that our entire deck is built around big dumb idiots, I could tell you from experience with Rubina, like seeing Elvish Piper, even though I play so much mana doubling and like easy ways to get it in, like it's a blessing sometimes to only have to like pay less mana for it.
All right.
We are playing 12 sources of ramp. I guess we can cut the bauble.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I kind of like Solemn, because God forbid he also, gets to, like, if we have, like, the archetype and he gets to, Also, do we want to play all 4 of these? Or is that too much?
It could get a little redundant if we're like we keep drawing them. Maybe Biden is, or maybe Coastal Piracy is my least favorite because it doesn't have another effect with it.
Yeah, it's the worst one for sure.
It used to be the most expensive and only one.
And this one is a recurable creature, so
that one's also really cool because it also lets us bounce things. If we say we attack with like a good ETB creature that they have to block or they want to block, we just put it back in their hand and. Actually, let read go over him real quick. The Raxi, whatever. The Illithid Scholar, the one we were just looking at.
Which one?
The one we were just looking at, the draw a card when that deals damage creature.
This one. Oh, one or more. That's the problem.
Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return to its owner's hand.
No, this one is worse.
Yeah.
So you can only draw 3 cards a turn.
No. Here, check this out. You ready for the shenanigans? So say you swing with 4 creatures, right? They block. So now it's become blocked. You get trigger, bounce the creature to your hand. When the creature side is unblocked, ninjutsu, because it's still considered unblocked. I think it's still in that same phase where in the declare blockers, where it still hasn't been declared blocked. And I think this would trigger. Or does block have to deal damage? No, because that's a damage step after declare blockers.
No, I don't think it works that way. And I think he is actually worse because you can only draw up to 3 with him. Because this is just whenever.
I was more curious how this work.
I think Coastal Piracy is actually better. I'm putting Nykthos in. I'm going to cut the temple, I guess.
So I'm just reading how this works.
I put Nykthos in.
Okay. Okay, never mind. I don't. It's gonna be something I have to look up a bit more to see if that interaction works the way I think it does, or it doesn't.
Okay, so I think that Coastal Piracy is better than him because it's any damage.
I mean, I still think it's kind of cool, but we could bounce if you really don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
we have to make
if
some
we're
cuts.
talking if we're talking about, but I'm just saying like that
I
Coastal.
wouldn't put maybe. I don't know. Do you want to also still throw coastal back in?
I mean, if all we're doing is attacking, like making sure that we're seeing one a turn, only playing like 3 or 4 tutors right now. Oh, did we decide to keep him?
No, I think we want to take him out
Yeah. Okay. I guess it just didn't. It didn't.
because I guess we're not doing shenanigans with him. So
No, if we're not playing Gary and like a bunch of reanimation stuff, which is fine, because we could just make this an honest attack deck. Honest.
but yeah, so we have Grim
Pure of
Tutor,
heart,
but we also have Grim Tutor, Demonic Tutor, the Demon Tutor.
and that's it. Just the
And
three.
we also have a lot of decent draw. Actually, we have a lot of good draw.
Yeah, so I guess it's fine.
Do you think Phyrexian, Reclamation, and Palisade are good enough? Maybe we don't need the Animate and Dance the Dead.
Well, yeah. Obviously, I like the reclamation and the.
Because I like the recurable ones and compared to the one-time ones. Unless like we're going like benefiting off of it like a lot. I still really like Bitter Blossom.
Oh, I feel like this is an Ingaruk's Wake deck too. I kind of forgot about that.
Our new favorite card.
It really is though. It's just so good for a 99-cent card.
Yeah, because games get to that late game all the time.
I guess we don't have to play these then.
Yeah, I don't. I think we don't need them. I think with like Reclamation and Palisade,
And the fact that we have like we have 3 tutors to make sure that like we get the better ones, and like we can't really do anything if like they get dealt with. Like we do have the Academy ruins, but that's about it.
yeah, but like if they deal with like the enchantment, like the thing is that we're gonna constantly draw gas. Like it's either gonna be unblockables in the gas or.
Okay.
And the thing is, I think it's gonna put the fear in them because we're gonna slam down an unblockable.
Yeah.
And it's like I hope you're ready for it.
1, 2, 3 kill spells, plus the Chupacabra, Gear Hulk, and the Amphin Mutineer.
An agent can steal something, so it kind of becomes removal too.
Yes, that is facts.
Best way to remove something is take it. Oh, and Holbert and him too.
Well, he bounces things, yeah.
Yeah.
He's so good, dude.
Yeah, he is.
Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD.
I'm gonna throw you out. How many more do we have to cut?
Okay, I think it's 2. Yeah. So is there anything over here that we don't 100% need? I like the 5 counter spells because this also doubles as making another copy. See, if it were me, I would play in a world where like I also play Archaeomancer to be a dickhole. But that's me. But like, or there's even better ones. Like there's the one that gets 2, but we just don't play enough instants and sorceries. Like 17. I mean, I guess that's not bad, but
because we're using it because it's more like our utility stuff. And remember, a bunch of them technically are also lands.
Yeah, because I don't think we can make Mystic Sanctuary work, right? 1,
No.
6. We're playing like 9 total islands.
No, I think this is gonna be a deck that we like. I think the powerhouse on the side is the creature base. The spells are like the support, where as compared to like a spell slinger, where like the enchantments with spells is like the power.
Yes.
That's just like our backup protection shenane stuff.
I still like the 2 extra turns. Especially this is the one that just can keep happening, and then like, Actually, would it be hard to cast Cryptic? Do I like Cryptic better than Counterswell because I want to tap creatures?
I kind of like that more too. Sometimes I've had Counter Squall in my hand and it like doesn't hit something I need it to, and it's like a big creature. And then sometimes I'm like, I wish I just had the generic.
Or like
Like I know,
our Archmage's Charm. Because
yeah, no,
in two colors, we could still make Cryptic and Archmage's Charm work.
yeah, well, because we have Seagate Resto, we're trying to get the pull off for Agadeem's Awakening or Necropotence.
Mm-hmm.
Two, like almost everything makes colors, so it's gonna be really hard to not really hit it.
For our lands, yes. Space Jam DVD. Space Jam DVD. Okay, so we need to cut 2 cards. Okay, so is there anything? I still think we should play the Downfall and the Feed the Swarm. We need just like 2 pieces of actual removal. I guess we also play
Mhm.
Rift and like the creatures and the Garuk's Wake.
But I like the way that the instant interaction is
Yeah, I
kind of
mean
important.
we still have this, but this is a bad one.
Yeah, and that usually ends up being a land, or like
Yeah.
you just hold on to it just in case.
Oh, I forgot we have this too for reanimation, but I mean it's not the best. But you know it's there. So,
Hmm.
and I don't think anything we have left reanimates. So, yeah, I don't think anything else. Also,
Maybe we.
if we want it to be funny, did you see people doing Mox Opal loops with Hull Breacher Horror? I saw an
Yeah,
Urza deck that was playing Aetherflux Reservoir and 2 0 drops. Like they were using him in Urza, right? Because they were playing him, right? And then bouncing their own 0 drops with an
amazing.
Aetherflux Reservoir and making infinite mana. It's kind of easy to pull off too,
Yeah,
especially
you
in
make so
Urza.
much mana in Urza.
Yeah, I mean Urza used to play Consecrated Sphinx, like the actual like normal stacks build, because they could play it on like turn 3.
You know, I'm
And they
actually not thinking about that because if you have any of the reducers, even the one drops, or you just hit like the things that actually tap for mana,
yeah,
they're
like
just
a
gonna
Soul Ring or a Mana Vault, then you just
yeah.
make infinite mana. I think you should play it. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Especially funny thing is because when you're going off, even if you don't have a way to loop something yet, you still play like 20 spells a turn. You're just gonna bounce your opponent's boards anyway.
Yeah, and remember you bounce your own stuff too. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Which is kind of cool. Lets you kind of reset.
like
Actually, I'm gonna try that out. I like that.
I've seen people do, like I told you, like I've seen like Mox Opal loops with this card, like of people looping 0 drops or just like anything that's netting mana, like and slamming it down. But like some people are cheating it into play with like I think like they're doing like animate like reanimation, but like Urza like can easily make that mana. Like that's baby mana. So, especially if you put that mana vault in there. And once you get going, that means you just start bouncing them. Like if you have one spell to play, you just like replay the mana vault, bounce the soul ring back, float the mana, replay the soul ring, bounce the mana vault. Like it's baby day after that. And even in eggs, Derek, if you have reducers and you played an egg that lets you draw a card, you can rebounce it and draw.
Yeah, it's true. I do really like that. Like looking like something like Icar Wellspring or something.
Yeah, Wellspring. That's a good example.
And like I said, if you don't have a good way to bounce it, you can still just eat stuff up with like the
Or
Ironworks Shenanigans. It pulls back into your hand.
yeah, or if you
Lets
have
you
enough
recap.
mana, you can keep recasting Urza and make boys.
I mean, I also do technically have both now Mox Opal and Mox Amber.
Do you play Mana Crypt too?
No, I never picked up for that deck because it was meant to not be like super crazy.
But you have the Mana Vault now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's good. It's fine. And you got the Moon Silver Key.
Yes.
So yeah. Which obviously it's going to be hard to tutor him unless you still play like long-term plans or something. But man, when you get Hullbreaker, man, what a guy. He might be better than like your Spine of Ishta stuff or like, the other interaction that you play or like the old loops with like the lords that like pump them. Like he just might be a better line now.
But yeah, because I think that was more for the side build, right? Which I guess I'm not doing as much because basically the deck is still mostly still just the same. Where I just ran Urza as the commander over Sai.
Yeah. But yeah, okay.
We're still trying to figure. Okay, so hear me out. Same reason I cut Primordial. Maybe we cut the blue Primordial too.
Yeah, you think so? I mean, even though this one has flying.
I think it's because of ETB, so it only happens once. I like Rexiel and the other ones because it's whenever they deal damage, I think. So they have reusable. Like the one-time hit is kind of cool.
But then it can bounce
once
itself. Right?
I
Because it has
guess.
flying.
But that's the same thing with the other primordial, But I guess their spells are probably better. I think spells might be better to get than creatures sometimes,
Yes.
especially in this type of strategy. Because I think our creatures are going to be better than most creatures that we're going to see in play or in
And
the
yeah,
graveyard.
and being a little removal light, and also stealing some ramp
Yeah.
is nice so that we can just play our
And
stuff.
and spells always go to the graveyard, where creatures don't always. They stick around until they're dealt with. Like instants and sorceries always hit the bin, so at least they'll actually be the stuff for it to hit.
I still like this.
No, yeah, that's so good. Especially if you like, okay, I'm gonna put him in, unblock, you take 6. Never mind, I'm kidding. You take 12.
I mean, we could also just play Exquisite Blood or Whip, but I don't know. Get some lifelink back because we're just gonna get reamed. Since we're like we're very much attacking a lot of the time. Man, cutting 2 more cards is hard.
Yeah, I like all of these.
This is really good because we also play the Urborg.
Yep.
Void Winnower is just like fucking cancer.
That makes our commander unblockable.
Void Winnower?
Yeah, doesn't it creatures?
No. It's there.
Oh, there's right. Never mind.
Your opponents can't block with creatures with even converted mana costs. No, it's their stuff. No, it's a lot meaner.
Yo, let's run Iovugan just to get it.
Beginning of your end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't
No,
control.
Tom, read that at the beginning of each end step.
I know. Yeah, creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter. Whenever a creature you don't control with a slime counter and it dies, create a 1/1 black slug. No, that's too good.
That thing's bonkers because that goes in. That becomes an every like.
That was not made for Commander, even though they knew that people were gonna play it in Commander.
I wouldn't be surprised if I see him hit high up on the salt list on EDH Rick kind of quickly. Because if you don't have an answer to him, that's
watching that game with you guys, like with Jake and you guys play with Mike, like that seemed horrible.
It was rough.
Mm-hmm. Weirdly, our ETB stuff is kind of funny because, like, if we get Archetype, like, if we, like, prioritize getting Archetype, then even, like, our, like, low-costed ETB, just good stuff can be unblockable, Which is kind of funny.
Well, fortunately, it looks like that, Talkshell hasn't made the salty list yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Jeez. $15.
There's some shenanigans in standard with him too that people are doing.
Oh, I forgot we have this too. This is a tutor.
Well, it gets a 2-drop, but it can just grab a demonic tutor.
Yeah.
Or a mana rock.
Tutor for the tutor. I love that.
Tutor for the best tutor.
I've done that. I've done that with Spellseeker.
Yeah.
I actually really think this card is cracked, by the way. This basically says Vigilance. Because it says at the beginning of your post-combat main phase.
You get additional beginning phase.
So it's a Phyrexian Arena. It's a double upkeep trigger card. So if we have Phyrexian Arena, it's cracked because we get 2 upkeeps.
And we get the untap step too.
Yep.
So
this card's fucking ridiculous.
That's actually kind of gross because you get to untap all your lands and everything.
Untap everything.
Yeah.
It's
a straight up untap.
That means if we have like the Quicksilver Amulet too, like that's a world I like to live in, Derek. This is what we call a red card in blue. This feels like a red card. It almost screams like
when you talk about Tom, it feels like a green card, aka Seedborn Muse.
Yeah. Because you don't get to go back to combat, right? You just go to your main phase.
It's just a beginning phase, and then end of turn.
Because it's after combat, but you still get to untap everything. So it's basically
what
Vigilance.
it does, it's before your main phase too. So you get after combat, untap, upkeep, draw, main phase 2.
Yeah, it says it right here. Untap, upkeep, draw. Yeah. So it's basically extra draw. Like, oh, that's so good. And then, which is important in this deck, Derek, because a lot of the time we're going to be attacking and then get murdered for the creature that we put out. So, like, having an instance of being able to block is really important. Being able to untap them and use them, that's like really important. Okay, we gotta cut 2 more cards. Oh, the top 7. No, this card's no. I love this card.
Yeah,
I still think that's good.
Because it deals damage too,
and
so
it keeps going, and it has flying. So if we want to trade it in for something else, I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Especially the kind of bullshit that people play. All right, let's count how many unblockable shit we have again. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11. Can we cut another one? Go to
I think it's real risky because that becomes like now we might not draw them in our opening hand.
Yeah.
Like we need a decent amount to still see.
This card. This is rough.
Yeah, this is like a copy of the repeat of when we built that Boros list when we're like, what do we cut?
Yeah.
I think it just comes down to preference now of like what effects do we like more.
So this lets you cast from their hand, right? This lets you
from graveyard,
which is you may cast target instant or sorcery, and it's every time though, so I like that.
Yeah, that's why I liked it over the Primordials, because the Primordials like can kind of miss.
Okay, we can cut
from the ETB if there's like, because once the ETB you have to reset them to get them again. Well, at least the other ones are in play, and they also have pretty good evasion already.
We have 3 cards in our deck that have Infect. That means our deck is good.
Wait, what other ones do we have? We have Blade Ancient. What else?
Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh, right.
Inkmoth Nexus.
Right. Sorry, right. I forgot we had the Nexus.
Wait, that's just that version, right?
That's the tattoo version. Nope.
You want to know why? Hammer Time.
It's still a deck in Modern.
Hammer Time.
Yep. Still Modern.
They can turn 2 kill people. Springleaf Drum, 0 drop, play Inkmoth, right? Play Sigard as aid, turn 2, land, animate, slam down Hammer Time.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Dead turn 2. What is it? This one plays instant.
Well, Hammer Time is the most played on Modern deck currently, it looks like.
Yes. Look at the player's hand. You may cast and not know. This card's so gas.
Yep, and
I like the Oni. You just get to keep stealing their shit. Same thing with this.
God, the price of Stoneforge Mystic now. Jesus poopy.
They also may they play Esper Sentinel. They play
yeah, I was just looking at the list.
They play Shadow. Yeah, $40, yeah. Oh, and if you have this version, which I don't think I have this version.
No, I think it was the other one, I think.
Also they play Shadow Spear. How much is that card? Oh, it's doing it again.
Oh yeah, every time you search for something, yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, no, right?
Oh.
Again, like the affinity lists.
This is probably one of the best Urza Saga decks too. Probably like first or second best Urza Saga deck, and then Esper Sentinel's disgusting in the deck. And it has like some actual like comeback now. Like, it doesn't just lose because it has that other white creature that, like, deck thins a little bit on top of Esper Sentinel.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because of Stoneforge Mystic, like, you can't really counter this stuff if you're playing correctly. It's very hard to play around it. And a lot of people are using, like, Unholy Heat and, like, the white 1-drop, that exile stuff, which is not good enough sometimes. Because dealing 6 damage to something when it's a 10-14 Ornithopter or an 11-11 Infect land, like, is not good enough sometimes. Or my personal favorite, a 10-1 Esper Sentinel that you have to pay 11 per non-creature spell.
For the first time.
Yeah.
But it means dealing with it lets them drawing a card. And I think, like, especially in Modern now, just getting any type of a card advantage when, like, you have to fight against Ragavan and Shenanigans, like, it's gross.
Yeah, they play against Ragavan really well, though, because they have good blockers. Like,
yeah.
They can make sure that it doesn't happen. Like,
I realize that Ragavan, if you think about how he runs and functions, he's almost like a 2-mana echo / phasing creature, because he's 2/1 and then he's not in play because he bounces back to your hand. So it's basically like he fades out.
If you do the dash, yeah.
Yeah, if you do the dash, which is usually how most people play him. But anyway, still have to make a cut, right? 1 or 2?
1. It's just 1.
Screw it. Let's get rid of Grim Tutor. We'll take out 1 tutor and we'll just deal with it. We'll just Demonic Tutor or Demon. All right, let's play it. Let's see what happens.